the bulk of the training was about how to look at the data and analyze the data from the MAP reports. So the first thing you're going to need to do after you test your students is to wait 24 hours for the reports to generate. And then you're going to log in and open up the reports page. Now, they talked about the class profile report a lot because this is the brand new report. It's going to be the class report is the old report, and they're going to be replacing it with this. They're going to be taking it away. However, the class profile is in beta mode because it still has a lot of glitches, like I'm going to show you right now. Because mine doesn't work. So I cannot show you all the great things that she showed me from her report because mine doesn't work. And there might be some of you whose reports don't work yet either. If you do have access to this report, though, which I did have access to it before, I have looked at it before. It is a lot of information condensed into. It's a lot more user friendly. The reason that they're changing these reports is because they talked to teachers and did some research or whatever and realized that the way that they had the report set up before was not very user friendly. You can't go back and forth between the other reports. If you're looking at one set of data, then you have to exit out completely to look at the next set of data. And with this class profile, I've heard that you can just switch back and forth. Here, you can switch subjects, courses, students, classes, all of that. So, more user friendly. However, I don't have access to that. So, I'm going to be talking about the older and other reports. So, the first report that I want to talk about is the class report. What you're going to do is you're going to go down here and you're going to select the most recent term tested, which will be winter. You're going to select the courses that you have. I only have one class, although all of your Power School classes will come up. And you're going to select the course that you want to look at. So I want to look at math and reading, so I'm going to do both. All of this is optional grouping, and I don't see why you would change this unless you are, a teacher who is looking for that type of data. So you can group them by gender, you can group them by ethnicity, or even by student names. But what I like to look at is the same way that it is defaulted. And once the report is generated, it should just pop up. And you will have math and reading scores. And I believe that the whole building has already done a training on how to look at the average scores and then go from the standard deviation up and down. It does list all of your students as an average, the mean RIT score for the whole class. And then it looks at students that are at grade level or above grade level. And the grade level mean is just basically the norm referenced data for that same specific time span that you took your testing. So I'm going to go to a different report and show you something new since we've already kind of looked at this report and might be already familiar with this. This is kind of where you can start your planning at. Look at the students who are at the average, and then you make your groups based off of that. They also break it down based off of what you're teaching. So if you are going to start on geometry and mathematics, then you would look at this group here, geometry. And in the class profile, you can also click this level and it will group them based off of that. I'm going to show you a different
At this
report that
point,
can
I
also do
hadn't
that.
realized that the video wasn't showing you what I was
So I'm going to
seeing.
go to
Just wait, I'll get it.
And I just realized you saw none of that.
I'll show a class report later in the video, but if you have questions, come see me.
The student profile report comes straight from the class report as well. So I do have access to this, and I'll show you a little bit. If from the class profile report, you click on the student's name, then you will get to the student profile, hence the moving back and forth within the report. But each student's profile is broken down with math and reading. You can click between both. They are color coded so you can know where your student lands in regards to the norm referenced expectations for winter, fall, and spring. That it's adaptive as well. If you come down here, they break it down by instructional areas. They show you percentile, and they also show you growth from if the student's taking it in fall or winter. But also in other grades, you'll see past testing sessions as well. So first graders will have kindergarten scores on there, and second graders will have kindergarten and first grade scores up there, depending on the first time that the student has taken the MAP test. And these scores do move with the students. So if they were to move to a different school in the district, or even a different school that utilizes the MAP program, these scores would still carry on over with them. Come on, report.
This is the growth report I forgot in the first
So I've
video.
run this report a couple of times.
You just couldn't
click
see
on
it
the
the
one
first
that you
time.
want, and
Sorry.
then it will take you to the report, which looks like this. And again, it has math and reading broken down. This is kind of what you would see on the class profile if you had access to it. It just looks a little bit different in a different format. But what I want to show you is the mean RIT score right here. This is what I was talking about in the first video when I said that it may be different depending on what weeks you tested. And it'll also tell you the students that are at or above that mean score. So that will give you a starting point when you're trying to plan groups and you're looking at students who might need Tier 2 support. I'm going to go back and look at a different report.